Pozdrav svima. Nedavno sam počeo raditi jedan novi video i onda sam shvatio da u stvari nisam napravio početni intro video. I zato ću ga napraviti sada. O čemu se u stvari radi? Ovaj video koji ću napraviti će pričati jednu priču. Priča traje 2,5 mjeseca i trajat će još neka 2 do 3 tjedna. U glavnoj ulozi te priče je jedna mlada, neustrašiva žena. Zove se Viktoriya Agova, porijeklom iz Bugarske. Ona živi i radi u Cardiffu u Walesu već 9 godina. Ona je nedavno odlučila svojim biciklom proputovati skoro cijelu Europu i iz Cardiffa u Walesu doći u svoju rodnu Bugarsku. Svaka je čast na hrabrosti i neustrašivosti i ovaj video je posvećen njoj i svima koji su napravili ili kane napraviti neki sličan podvig.
Tomatoes and yeah, that's all Slavonia. And I was surprised because I met Ksenia and I told her, and then I met Ivan, and you are all cycling, and I'm surprised you're not on on the app, because so far every country I've been, there are few people. Slovenia was not so many.
We are planning to get on that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that you never know who will be came to you.
Yeah.
You are, I will say, perfect person.
Yeah, there are some.
Or some stranger to get in your house.
Yeah.
But you never know. I believe they are all good persons.
But you know that I feel the same way when I stay with people. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they're serial killer. Of course not. But I always think other people who stayed with that person, if they left good reviews, then I'm more comfortable. Even I've stayed with men who live alone, which as a woman maybe someone will say, oh, you're crazy, but I read the reviews and I make a decision. I take the risk.
Yes. I will ask you first major question. Why and when you decide and how to get on this great journey?
To get on this great road trip.
Yes.
Why and when? Okay. The story is I was working in the tech industry as a marketing manager. I studied marketing and I graduated in Cardiff, and I worked in a startup, and it was very busy. In the end, stressful job. Anyway, I stayed with the company until it collapsed. The company went. I was thinking, well, okay, I don't want to rush into anything yet. I freelanced for a few months because I thought maybe I want to go and travel, take a gap year, or at least a few months, not a whole year, but a few months. Some people take a gap year after they finish university and before they go to work, and I never did that. And I decided this would be my gap, and I had to cover 4 or 5 months. I had to do something because I needed some income, and I freelanced, which is less commitment. You only take some projects that you like and you finish whenever you know. So I finished everything in April. And why with the bike? I looked at some other options. I wanted to go somewhere in Asia to do like a program where they teach you to become an outdoor guide and get qualified. but I only found out last minute. I was a week and a little bit to the deadline, and it was very expensive. I had to pay all my savings basically from my job, and I also have to work when I'm there to support myself because
it's risky.
Yeah, and it's risky, and there is no point because you don't have free time. You don't have enough free time, you know. And I like cycling, and I thought, well, maybe I...
But you are not cyclist from before.
No, I commute. I commute to work. I have an old road bike, and this bike I bought 2 years ago just because around Cardiff there's some nice trails where you need something more hybrid. Because road bike is very thin tires, not all terrain. And I bought this because it was very good discount, and I already had the bike, and it's good for touring. My ex-boss, he has the same bike and he toured a lot with it. And I just decided to plan my own trip and cycling because I like cycling. I never did a long distance before, or even something with multiple days. I only did day trips, and always back to my house.
Yes.
And, yeah, I bought all the equipment. I watched some YouTube videos, and then planning couple of months planning, 2-3 months looking at the route, buying all the equipment. You can't plan everything. I only planned until, well, I didn't plan in detail. I only planned the route where I'm gonna go, Eurovelo 5 until Milan. My aunt is in Milan, and I knew this was my halfway. Because to Bulgaria I can go quicker, I can go Hungary and Austria. But I wanted to see my aunt, I have my cousins live there, my family, my nephew, and I was like, okay, I go to Milan and also cross the Alps. This was all of the projects I took. I finished in April, and I started on the 4th of May.
And how it is feel now? Do you imagine it that will be like that, or it is something completely different?
Some days it's different than what I imagined, but most of the time it's exactly like I wanted it.
Will you change something in the start?
If I had to do it again? Even in the beginning I packed even more than this, and then I took off, before I left, I took off 30%. And still, yes, maybe, but I used everything. Yeah, I used everything. Right now maybe I'm carrying a bit too many clothes, yeah. Sometimes when I stay in the city I like to have like at least one other outfit so I can change, but now it's mainly small villages, and Bulgaria it's only mountains, and you know. So yeah, maybe I can send some clothes back.
And it's very warm.
Yeah, right now.
And you don't need additional layers.
No, it's good. But I did need in Slovenia, in the mountains, I needed my long sleeve. I slept in a cabin there one night, and it was next to a cave, and it was cold air from the cave. But I was warm. I was really warm. I was under a roof. It was good. But no, I don't think I would change anything else. No, maybe have a bike with more gears. This one has only 8. There's 1 in the front and 8 in the back. And they're big in the back, quite big, but still it was difficult.
Yes. We need at least 2 cogs in front.
Yeah, that would have been better.
To have bigger range of gears, to have slow and fast.
But then
gears.
I suppose there's an argument to say you're saving some weight, and maybe there's less things that can go wrong if it's only one, and you're saving on the weight a little bit. I don't know. If I have a better bike, then I can compare one day. For sure, for my knees, it would be easier if I have more gears.
More gears, maybe, yes. But you will survive.
Oh, yeah. Now I've decided to... Originally I planned to enter Bulgaria near Niš, and from Niš go Pirot, Dimitrovgrad, Sofia. flat, well, kind of flat. But this route is not there's not really that much to see.
Yes.
And I decided, because there's another Eurovelo from Novi Sad, or maybe even before, from Vukovar to Ruse in Bulgaria. It's the Black Sea, the Eurovelo 6, and it goes along the Danube. And I decided to do that, and along the Danube there is more campsites, and I can stay in campsites on the river, and enter Bulgaria from the border with Serbia, Romania, this northwest part, and I will also have to cross the Bulgarian Balkan, which is quite, it's alpine terrain. They're very similar, you know. And there's one mountain pass to do, and then it's the last 3 days of my journey will be that mountain pass, and then home it's flat last day to my house, because we're near Sofia. But
your biggest task will be at the very end.
At the end. And I will see, I'm excited about this route now, because I will see more of my own country also. Before I have to go from the border to my house, 55 kilometers, and it's like nothing. But now at least I can go Vidin, there is a fortress there, and then Belgradčik, we have some nice rocks there. Beautiful region, and then cross the Balkan, and then Sofia. It's better.
How old you are?
28.
28.
Yeah.
And when you came in Cardiff, how long you were in Bulgaria?
19. I was 19 years old when I went to Cardiff.
It's very brave.
Yeah, people say that. It's I know it was a big step.
Yes.
And I had friends there. One of my friends, very close friends, she was there the year before. She said very nice things about the city, and she was right, you know, very good atmosphere. Capital city, but it's not too busy, it's not too chaotic. And I really liked Cardiff. Initially, when I arrived, the second day, you know, some people, my friends told me that initially they wanted to go back to Bulgaria. They felt very unsafe, away from family, away from everything familiar, uncomfortable, and even some of them were depressed in the beginning. And when I arrived in Cardiff, this was complete opposite to my experience. I arrived and it's like I was always meant to be there, you know, like I always wanted to be independent. And yeah. Don't know. I mean, I was missing my family, but I was so excited about being there on my own. In the first day when I started, because I never did any trip like this before, and I cycle with this bike on a hill next to my house, and it's usually very good, you know, I'm quick. And then with the weight on the first day, I started cycling the same hill. It was so hard, and I was in one of my lowest gears, the easiest, and I was 5 minutes away. I just left, and I'm thinking, I'm already struggling, and this is not even a hill, you know. I'm going to the Alps, and I just started like panicking and thinking, what am I doing? 3 months of this, like with this weight. But I spoke to some people in the beginning, and they encouraged me a lot, and they said, you know, you get used to the weight, you get used to the size of the bike. One day you get on the bike and you just ride, and it feels like not a normal bike, because you're accustomed to the weight. Your body gets used to being in the position, but the first
getting in shape.
Slowly. Yeah, because I didn't train properly for it. I didn't prepare. I rely on getting fit on the road. And the first week, 10 days in the UK, was very difficult. I spent a lot of time resting with friends, visiting friends in Cambridge, in London, Eastbourne. and I rest 2-3 days.
You didn't rush.
I didn't rush through the UK. I wanted to see my friends, and I was like, I'm still in the UK. I know the system and how things work, and I took like almost 10 days, 9 days. I was in the UK,
And slowly you get prepared for the next step.
Yeah, exactly.
That is good.
I did a lot of foam rolling in the beginning. My muscles just, and then in France and in Belgium I was already getting used to it, and in Switzerland I was already doing 70 kilometers per day average. This was the peak maybe. And then after Switzerland, Italy was very hot, and in Italy I wasn't very fast because it was just too warm. I had a heat stroke one day in Italy going to Treviso from Brescia somewhere. One day it was really hot in Italy, and I cycled in the afternoon in the worst sun from 2 until 7, and very little shade on the road, on the path, and
You must hydrate yourself
yeah.
very often.
Yeah, I take electrolytes for hydration and salts. I had one today. I learned now, the hard way, but I learned. Yeah.
Before I started to Iceland, I was playing basketball.
Okay.
And this is one injury from basketball. Same,
From basketball.
really. We are colleagues.
Yes, we are.
Znači ovo je biciklo od Viktorije i ima samo 8 brzina. Nevjerojatno, svaka čast. Evo nas sa ovim večernjim videom završavamo naše jednodnevno druženje sa Viktorijom, ali ona svoje putovanje nastavlja dalje prema svojem domu u Bugarskoj. Toliko od mene i Viktorije.
Beautiful language. Ciao.
Bye bye.